Today's adventure begins by looking at I-4 westbound, not going very smoothly. Mickey Power Pole off in the distance seems to be a little happier, and maybe I can even see a smile being emitted by the Mickey Power Pole. Because as a recording of this, it is Monday, November 21st, 2022. The first official day with Bob Iger back at the helm of the Disney Corporation. And I am heading to Magic Kingdom. It's a good day. Bob Chapek is out. Bobby C, as I like to refer to him as. And Iger is in, granted, supposedly only for the next 2 years, coming out of retirement and back behind the wheel. See what happens. Recently, whenever people would ask me about the parks and Disney in general, just the whole Disney vibe, I would always say this is not their finest hour. They've had better times. I'd always say that there will be a light at the, not to say at the end of the tunnel, but just I guess the best way to say it is recently has not been their finest moments. But I feel like with this change, bringing Iger back, things could get a whole lot better. TTC, Magic Kingdom parking lot. This place has not been as magical as it could be. And I am really hoping, crossing my fingers, cross your fingers, Big the Foot, that things are starting to, the tide could be turning back to how it should be. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. I am parked in Peter Pan 217, Peter Pan 217. I have offices, I'm not too far from the front of TTC, just to walk it. I'm inviting you to join me today. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Shall you? This tram just dropped some guests off and are taking a few. Most people are heading in, including myself, not out of the park. There is a change a-brewing. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen overnight, nor do I think it's going to be anything super dramatic. But the wheels are in motion. A shifting of sorts. The consensus on Bobby C's tenure as CEO, probably not the best. He's not going to be looked upon down the road as, you know, the best one steering the company in the correct direction. In fact, I think it may be the shortest time frame of anyone in that position. Do I think there's going to be a dramatic difference because Iger is in there? I'm not sure. I really do not know completely. He's only going to be in 2 years, according to what I was reading. And then after that, so it's basically a new direction, a new shifting of sorts. Not necessarily that he is going to revamp and rechange everything, but heading in the right direction, which is pretty good. Now, I never met the guy, Chapek. Probably a really nice guy, but as far as job description goes, really was not meant to be where he is, where I think Iger has a better sense of that. I did meet Iger once. We got a Star Tours at Disneyland a few years ago. Boy, it is really windy today. Take a look at the flags up there. It'd be really nice if Genie Plus went away, or at least put into a better usage. It was, you know, a little more streamlined use of Genie Plus. It'd also be really nice if the park reservations went away. Those would be the two that would be kind of nice from this changing of the guard. And the constant money grabs that have really kind of popped up in the last year or so. It'd be kind of nice to not have those and just take those down a notch. And it'd be nice to not be on my phone all the time. Not to have to make plans on the phone, jump on Genie Plus and then go back, change things. You know, if you're gonna have a money grab, at least can I do one when it doesn't involve my phone? One or the other, not both. Just get rid of one of them, right? Heavy Metal Mickey? Directly ahead, Joffrey's underneath there. There's never a line at Joffrey's before you actually go in the park. So I'm gonna go get myself a coffee right over there. It's a little hack I got. Once you get in the park on Main Street, Starbucks, out of control. Over here, in control. Accomplished. Got myself a coffee and now heading onto the ferry boat across. The ferry boat, General Joe Potter.
Best place to watch the enchantment fireworks is anywhere on Main Street.
The castle over there.
Lasers and projections in Cinderella Castle. create a spectacular show on Main Street. Once again, the park does close at 11. Last boat back is 12. For those while on board, we do ask your cooperation. Please make sure to keep your hands on. Keep light.
I also do understand the concept that this company and this place exists to make money. It also exists to make people happy. And I feel like Walt kind of embraced that. I would even say until recently, well, pretty much ever since the parks reopened in 2020, everything has kind of gone off the rails in a lot of ways. You know, Walt started the company with, you know, to put dreams out there and make people feel good and people to have memories and share with their family and whatnot, but also to make money. It is a business. Even the Frank Wells and Michael Eisner days, I am big on Michael Eisner. I really like that era of Disney. In fact, I'd probably say he is my favorite other than Walt, but with him and Frank Wells as the combo, really packed quite a punch as far as the feels in this place and the vibe in this place. And yes, people will pay. Like I said, it is a business, and people will pay, self included. They will spend hard-earned money to enjoy themselves, but I feel like lately it's just gotten so confusing with the add-ons and all the nickel and diming and all that. And speaking of nickels and dimes, there's a lot of nickels and dimes down there on that little buoy. So that's pretty much what I hope changes. I kind of hope it can kind of go back to that vibe. So to reiterate, streamline, not necessarily get rid of it, streamline the way Genie Plus works, make it a little more feasible, not be on the phones as much, and possibly get rid of the reservation system. That would be the two things I would kind of see an immediate impact. Also, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt because the parks are busy. Look at this, Jungle Cruise is 100 minutes on a Monday, 75 minutes for Pirates. So people are coming here even with everything that I just stated, even without the things starting to change yet. Yeah, it's busy. Feels pretty good with the breeze going through here. See the wind rustling the trees up here past the Golden Oak Outpost. Used to be a McDonald's fry stand back in the day. Just take a look at the sheer amount of people that are walking through Frontierland like that. There's like not even a whole heck of a lot of elbow room in Frontierland. It is busy today. Oh yeah, that's the other word I was looking for, Lightning Lane. Which is basically Disney Plus Lightning Lane. That's kind of the new Fast Pass. I tried getting on the Liberty Bell. I kind of was like walking briskly over to get on the Liberty Bell, but they put the rope up just as I walked up, so I missed it by like 30 seconds on boarding that particular voyage around the rivers of America. Yeah, I'm really kind of amazed on how busy it is in here for a weekday. I mean, granted, it's kind of not necessarily an extended weekend, but sometimes a Monday is like a secondary Sunday because some people will extend their own weekend out. But yeah, there's a lot of people here. I don't even know exactly how many attractions, if any, I'm going to get on today, but I would definitely try to do the People Mover and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad if I can. Oh goodness, check out Peter Pan's flight, clocking it at 105 minutes, 45 for Small World, and 15 for PhilharMagic. And while I'm looking at it, Mine Train's 130 minutes. I stopped inside the Haunted Mansion gift shop, Memento Mori, I believe it's called, and they have some items up here. We got the Hitchhiking Ghost up here. We got Madame Leota over here. We got the Singing Busts. We got the Bride. But take a look at this. I fancy myself as a very, very, very amateur chess player. I like to play chess. I know how to play it. I know the moves. I'm not very good at all, but this is pretty neat. A light-up chess set right here. Haunted Mansion style. Check that out. Ooh, got some bubbles going by there, adding to the ambiance. It might be kind of tough to see. Oh, there's an airplane just went by too. Some bubbles just went by Cinderella Castle there. And on this bridge, looking over past the little waterfall, over there is Tomorrowland, which I'm going to head up and around Cosmic Rays and go that way. They go around this building and get on the People Mover, because that might not, I think it's like a 15-minute wait, so I'm gonna do the People Mover, because everything is pretty long line today. Check out the People Mover. I was kind of like waiting here for one to go by. I guess it's running. I think one went by. Oh, there it goes. There goes one right now. People Mover going by. I love the People. It's like one of those things that almost every time I'm here, I have to do the People Mover. And one other thing I was thinking of too, you figure you had Walt and Roy. Walt was the visionary. Roy handled a lot of the business sense. And then, like I said, I loved Eisner and Frank Wells. And Eisner was kind of the visionary, the dreamer, where Frank Wells kept him grounded on the business aspect and told him, no, Michael, you're making some wrong decisions. There really isn't anything like that now. Well, Josh D'Amaro, will he end up being Iger's new right-hand man? And will that kind of be a good combo? I don't know. Wow, the line for Space Mountain stretches all the way back over here. Gosh, even People Mover has a really long line. Maybe I'll pass on that. Maybe today will just be a walking around kind of day. Maybe not an attraction day. Even Tomorrowland Speedway has quite the line today. For one reason or another, at this moment, this little corridor here that goes by the Wishing Well, the Cinderella Wishing Well, only a couple people in this little area. Oh, and Mickey and Minnie are over there at the castle. They're doing a little show in front of the castle over there with all the cavalcade and cast of characters. Maybe that's why there's nowhere over here on this side over near the Wishing Well. Walking back through Fantasyland now. We got Rapunzel's Tower up there. I remember when Rapunzel's Tower used to be where the Skyliner was. Oh goodness, not Skyliner. I'm thinking the new transportation device of Skyliner. The Sky Buckets, the station, used to be right over here where the Rapunzel restrooms are. And it just hit me all of a sudden. I realized why it's so busy. It is Thanksgiving week. Thanksgiving is Thursday, and this is Thanksgiving week, so people have this week. A lot of people have taken this week off of work and whatnot to come down here with their families. Every line is really lengthy. It's very busy here. All the mountains, well, both the mountains on this side of the park over in Frontierland, Big Thunder and Splash, are more than 80-minute wait time for each of those. Yeah, so basically no rides or attractions will be happening today. I think I'm actually going to head out. There's quite a few people here, so it's just more of a walking around the park type of day. On the way out, was able to catch the parade, the Answer the Call parade. I don't know exactly what it's called, but the Magic is Calling is what it is, basically what it is, when you get the dancers going down Main Street USA and around the front hub, and then Mickey and Minnie and Pluto and the whole cast of characters. Also, they seem a little more excited today than usual. Probably they're pretty much always excited, but today they're very, very excited. And also getting the crossing of two different monorails, one going to and from the Transportation Ticket Center. And I am going to walk along this pathway and follow that monorail. Well, more or less probably pass a few by the time it takes me to walk around from here over to Grand Floridian, over to Poly, and then back over into TTC. Right now I'm just sitting here and resting my legs, enjoying the day. It will be really interesting to see how all this plays out with Chapek no longer the head of the company. And it's also interesting because, there's a lot of speculation on if, everyone has their opinions on Iger, whether he was the one that kind of got Chapek into the situation he is in, and if Chapek was kind of the scapegoat in a lot of ways. You just never really know how that works out. For me, I think the most exciting thing, I don't really know the ins and outs of all that. Obviously, I'm just a spectator from, an onlooker's perspective. Also a shareholder's perspective, which worked out pretty well in my favor since yesterday. But I'm just glad there's going to be like a changing of the guard. For me, I think that is the first turn. We'll see what happens after, after the next 24 months and then beyond. One thing's for sure though, in the last 24 hours, things have really gotten shaken up in the company. And you can kind of feel the vibe in the park, whether it be the guests, APs, annual pass holders, Disney community, cast members as well. There is a vibe in there. Not anything that really would jump out, right in your face, but there's definitely a vibe in there. A little bit of a weight off of those shoulders. I think it was a collective gasp of that happened. That's how I felt last night. And I think I speak for quite a few others. I don't want to put words in everyone's mouth, but I feel like I speak for quite a few people when it comes to that sentiment. Is there a monorail coming up? I don't really like showing an empty monorail beam. Oh, I just did. I showed an empty monorail beam. Fail. And I would guess probably a lot of others will be paying very close attention over the next series of days, weeks, months, as I stated, 24 months. And the next D23, whenever they haven't announced when that will be, is oh, that honked. That little honkage. Even the monorail pilot is stoked. This soap opera, I am here for it. You know that meme of Michael Jackson eating the popcorn from Thriller? I think that's the whole Disney community right now. Just a nice stroll passing Grand Floridian here. Got the Peach monorail going by. From here, gonna walk over to Polly and then back to my car at TTC. It's a nice day. It has gotten, the weather's really nice now. I think now that the sun is kind of behind the clouds and it's overcast again, it's not cool. It's not as cool and crisp and rainy like it was yesterday, but it feels really nice. Yeah, I think I will take the tram back over to my car. Going over to Peter Pan and Simba.
We have time. We're heading back out to Peter Pan and Simba. Push down on the hand, out the door, lower your head and watch your step. Lead you to the one on the exit. Just be there about 15 miles an hour. If you happen to have any car troubles on your way, just find a parking gas number or security.
And just like that, back to my row. Pan 217. I always look at this like hump of soil up here, and I wonder if that was going to be where a Skyliner was originally going to, or maybe going to go. What will the future hold? No one really knows. I don't know. No one knows. Everything's speculation and hearsay, thoughts, opinions. You know what they say? Opinions are like, I have one, everyone has one. Look at those storm clouds. I think I'm leaving probably at just the right time. And as busy as it was in the park, there still is some empty parking out here. So maybe the reservation system, what do I know? Maybe the reservation system does limit the amount of people in there and not just count heads. I just wish the reservation system was not a thing anymore. Look at those clouds! Back over downtown Celebration now. We got the road closed signage there. They have the cones set up there, and they have the tree. I showed a little bit of this last night when I kind of put the little end tag on my video, my thoughts of when everything kind of went down today, just talking a little bit more about what I mentioned last night. The road is closed off. They got the tree over there, and I believe the Snope will be taking place here maybe this weekend. Don't quote me on that, but very, very soon. It's not happening tonight. But the Snope, which is basically snow made of snow, will be falling down on Market Street right here soon enough. And there is an ice skating rink, which is really not made of real ice. It's made of like a hard plastic rubbery thing, but it kind of imitates that. You could get some skates over here, and you could skate along there as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Iger is back for 2 years, and Chapek has been released from his duties unbeknownst to him. It's kind of interesting because I was reading some stuff, and this is all just at this very moment, so by the time this is uploaded, you know, in the morning, I always film day of and then edit at night, upload the next morning. Some other new developments might happen, but from what I'm hearing, they had got a hold of, you know, this is just kind of what I'm reading online, that Bob Iger was alerted, you know, 5 or 6 days, a week before, and Chapek was not even told that he was going to be fired until right before the announcement to the world was released. Now, on a personal level, I never met Bob Chapek, but I kind of feel for the guy. Obviously, he was cast into a position. He worked his way up to that. He's not, you know, him being released, he definitely probably got a pretty good severance package. So financially, he's probably doing just fine, but you know, mentally, hopefully he's not on the internet right now. Hopefully he's staying offline and not seeing what is out there, because it can be pretty interesting what people's opinions are and thoughts and stuff are. So on a personal level, he probably is, you know, feeling this a little bit, not knowing that he did not set out to do what he thought he was going to do. He probably had some high hopes, some accomplishments in mind. He just was not the right man for the job. Is Bob Iger going to be the right man for the job? Better than Chapek. I think no one is arguing that, you know, that fact. But also, after 2 years, after 24 months, if Iger decides to leave, maybe he'll stay around. He might be in it for the long haul. But as of right now, it's just for 2 years. And because they did not have a replacement, in my opinion, they did not have a replacement for Chapek. And because things got so bad, they needed someone to step in there. They made an offer to Iger. He decided to come out of retirement. And that is where the company is now. What it needs, this, like I said, this is a turning point, just a pinnacle of like flipping a switch, which needed to be changed. So what will happen is, you know, a year or so, Mr. Iger will have to fix the problems that have been developed. Some of them he started on his own and just handed off to Bobby C. But he will have to fix the problems over a year, and then the next year will basically be training someone, getting someone ready to take over his position. Who will that person be? Your guess is as good as mine. I have some ideas, but time will tell. Nonetheless, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is in fact, and the Chapek era is in fact, sorry big guy, over.